out strength that we may go to. Thank you again, O Lord, and help us and keep us now, we pray in His Son's name.
Amen. Thank you so much, Lenford. Today is indeed a remarkable day. We're here in St. Mary Western to launch the 6th community Wi-Fi. We have with us today some very, very important people that have made this possible. Director of Projects at the Universal Service Fund. And also we have our counselor, Mr. Ramon Henry of the Orocabessa Division. And we also have Superintendent of Police in the St. Mary Division, Mrs. Bobette Morgan Simpson. Without further ado, let me welcome Mr. McCrae to provide you with a welcome. Please make him feel welcome.
Good afternoon, Mason Hall. Protocols have already been observed, but I'd still like to acknowledge our Member of Parliament and also the members and residents of this community. This is our second launch for today, making it our 6th for this constituency. It is a pleasure for us to be here to continue the work of the USF, to continue to bridge the digital divide and ensure that residents right across the island have access to internet service. Our former CEO, Dr. Daniel Dawes, would have made every effort to ensure that these activities take place. He would have passed over a week now, and we are still mourning. We appreciate all the love and empathy that has been shown from the public right across Jamaica, in parliaments, our GG, all across the country. He is a very was a very hardworking person, energy, passion, unmatched. So what I want to at least continue in his passing is to ensure that we continue to move forward, that our launches, our activities, all that he would have wanted to do and would have been doing, that we continue. That's the best way that I think we can honor him from the organization standpoint. So having said that, we, again, would like to ensure that all communities that we can have access. Mason Hall, today is your day. Tomorrow, next week, there will be other communities. We continue to go right across the length and breadth to ensure that the mandate of the Universal Service Fund is honored. Our minister, the Honorable Darrell Vaz, would have entrusted us with the resources and the will to do this, and we are capable and willing, and we'll continue to ensure that Universal Service Fund work continues. Thank you.
Come on, man. He deserves a bigger round of applause than that. Remember, Dr. Dawes would have done a lot, and Mr. McCrae has a big shoes to fill, and I trust he will fill those shoes to ensure that Universal Service Fund continue on its mandate. Now, the Universal Service Fund has a lot of projects, and when I say a lot of projects, but we're going to invite
by our Master of Ceremonies, but I would also like to acknowledge our Member of Parliament for St. Mary Western, Mr. Montague. Now, the task is mine again today to bring greetings on behalf of the USF. And I'll try to do this very quickly because the rain is upon us and we have a long drive back. Now, the USF is an agency in the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications, and Transport. Right? We started life back in 2005, which makes us 19 years just about now. Right? So this is actually our anniversary period. Right? Our birthday is on May 17th. But we're in a somber mood, so we, kind of down on the celebrations right now. But the USF is charged. You would have heard acting CEO mentioned our mandate. Our mandate is actually to encourage Jamaica's transition into becoming a knowledge-based society. And we do that by reducing something called digital poverty, access to our public institutions, and that's our our schools, our health facilities, our our health facilities, our institutions. Right. Now, the USF sponsors that just shy of $1.3 billion annually, right? So that's no ordinary feat. You might wonder where we're getting the money to execute on these projects, right? And I will advise you that the USF gets its funding through a levy, not a tax, a levy. Now, a levy, whenever somebody calls you from overseas, you know, a little bit of that money gets put aside, and that is the money that the USF uses to, you know, execute on these fancy things that we're doing now, right? Now, in addition to our broadband facilities for public institutions, we also have what we know as our Wi-Fi facilities. But before I mention that, I did mention the National Broadband Initiative, and the pilot sites for the National Broadband Initiative is actually the schools, right? And I see Mason Hall Primary here. Correct. And Mason Hall is actually one of the schools that are connected via the NBI infrastructure. So here you have an institution not only where we are here commissioning our Wi-Fi, but we are actually demonstrating that the USF actually has a footprint in many areas. Now, in addition to that, we have what everybody knows the USF for, which is our community and our public Wi-Fi facilities, of which this year we'd complete just shy about 356 at the end of this financial year, and about 35 public Wi-Fi institutions. And that is also no ordinary feat, right? The USF is really engaged in reducing digital poverty island-wide. Now, providing infrastructure and broadband support is not the only way we reduce digital poverty. We do that also through training and training support. And the USF engages in our unattached youth through our technology advancement program. Now, the TAP program is a facility where we would upskill our unattached youth, that's youth between the ages of 18 and 35, and we upskill them in areas of, you know, computer repair, minor networking, electronic data processing, etc. This year, we would have engaged just shy of 260 students, and that is in the areas of coding, software development, web application development, and mobile application development, and data analysis. And at the end of that program, we're at the tail end, so that cohort is actually graduating shortly by the end of this month. And at the end of their tenure, they're going into a job placement phase. Now, during the whole tenure of that program, they were given a stipend, all right, a bi-weekly stipend. So they were actually paid to learn a skill. Now, that's not the only ticker, right? At the end, should they apply to a university and matriculate to a university and are studying another IT-focused field, the Universal Service Fund stands ready to support their tuition for the entirety of that program once, you know, they keep their grades up. But you should applaud the USF for this effort as well. Good. Right. So I won't detain you further, right? I will advise that should you have any issues with the infrastructure, if you see one of the access points fall over, a truck tear down the line, or God forbid somebody run off with one piece of the equipment, or if you just want to call the USF and give them kudos, tell them thanks, or, you know, big us up for the work that we're doing, you can do that by calling us at 926-1727. That's 926-1727. Or you can reach out to the USF on our internet presence. That's at our website at www.usf.gov.jm. Or on our social media presence, that's at USF Jamaica, and that's for X, formerly known as Twitter. And that's the same for our Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel for those who are watching us live. So again, I can't elaborate on the rest of our projects. In 19 years, we would have executed well over 1,500 projects. So, you know, on behalf of the USF, again, I'm going to bid you a good afternoon, and I'll hand you back over to our Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. You recognize that the Universal Service Fund is doing a lot across Jamaica. As Dr. Dawes would say, from Negril Point to Moran Point, we have members of, well, rather, residents of Jamaica being connected. We have I mentioned earlier, we have 5 other community Wi-Fi that has been launched in the St. Mary Western Division. I just want to reiterate those names. We have Wood Park, we have Hamilton Mountain, we have Gale, Mango Valley, and we launched Windsor Castle earlier today, and now we're at Mason Hall. Now give your member of parliament a round of applause, because he chose Mason Hall as one of the many communities that needed connection at this time. So SDC is a valued partner, that's the Social Development Commission, is a valued partner at these launch, and they always encourage members of the community to use this resource to enhance their life. With us today, we have Mr. Shawin Reynolds, Parish Manager at the SDC. Please make him feel welcome.
Thank you very much, Madam Master of Ceremonies. Citizens of Mason Hall, good afternoon to you, to our Member of Parliament, the Honorable Robert Montague, CD, Councillor Henry, Councillor T.K. Kidd, Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, Mr. McCrae, and members of the Universal Service Fund, and of course to all the agency partners that are here, certainly to the citizens of the Mason Hall Primary and Infant School, to the teachers and staff, the members of the media, good afternoon to you. Certainly, as was mentioned, this is our second stop for today, and we are indeed grateful for the work that has been done by the Universal Service Fund in collaboration with the Member of Parliament for St. Mary Western, as we seek to make a difference in the life of the citizens across the space, where we continue to provide connectivity, internet connections to the citizens. And of course, as was mentioned, this one was specifically chosen for the citizens of Mason Hall. Driving throughout the area, we know the challenge that we face in terms of connection, and certainly we are indeed grateful for the connections here. Certainly, the Social Development Commission want to encourage the citizens of this space to protect this asset. It is a major investment in your space. It is a major investment in the community. And of course, listening to our presenters, we realize that the community would have benefited before, and we look forward for continuous benefit factors of the services of the Universal Service Fund. So we encourage you to get on board and learn more about the entity and all the services that it provides. And certainly the citizens of this space can benefit. And so on behalf of the Social Development Commission, we want to congratulate the team from the Universal Service Fund, and we wish them all the very best as they continue to connect Jamaica to the rest of the world. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reynolds. So just as a reminder, if you want to know more about our projects, visit our website at usf.gov.jm. So that's usf.gov.jm. Now, we're live streaming, and if you want to rewatch this program, you can go on our social media platforms at USF Jamaica, and you can view the proceedings. And also, when we do other launches and other activities, you can follow and you can see what is happening. I'd like to invite a representative of the Mason Hall Infant and Primary School, Miss Lavina Hamilton, to bring brief remarks. Please make her feel welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. I stand here today filled with gratitude, immense gratitude for this work that is being done in our community. It will not only benefit the community, but our students. As a school, we are doing a whole lot of researching, especially in our core subjects. And I know that our students will benefit greatly by doing their homework, by doing assignments. So the money that they will use to buy data, they can now put that in their pocket to go towards something else. And on behalf of the Mason Hall Primary and Infant School, I just want to say a big thank you to USF and our Member of Parliament, Mr. Bobby Montague, for this great effort. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hamilton, for that wonderful remarks. Next, we would have a representative reminding you to protect this service that is provided to you in your community. Remember, it is at a cost to the Universal Service Fund whilst you're not paying for it. The Universal Service Fund makes monthly payments on this service. So we're going to invite Mrs. Bobette Morgan Simpson, Superintendent of Police in the St. Mary Division. Please make her feel welcome.
Mr. Robert Montague, Executive Officer, Mr. Jamie Robinson, Director of Projects, the other members from the Universal Access Fund, Mr. Sharon Reynolds, the caretaker, the counselor for this area, residents, students, everybody, good afternoon to you all. It's my pleasure to say a few words this afternoon at this day. Opportunity for the members of the Maisol community to have free Wi-Fi. And I just want to say to the residents of this community how special they are. Just want you to recognize you're indeed very special, because if you weren't special, you would not be having this treat that you're having this afternoon, which will be with you for a long time. So we have to understand, now you have to understand the importance of this opportunity that you have where you have free Wi-Fi. First of all, it is going to save the parents' money, students' money, and just use the system, but you also recognize the importance of protecting it. So any way or in every way that you can, you have to look out for the protection of the system. And I also want to encourage you to ensure that you use the system wisely, and particularly the students. And you know something, even the youngsters, you can start having your own businesses from a very young stage. You can become bloggers, and you can start your own business by learning skills on YouTube and be able to do so many creative things that you can also turn it into a business. But you also have to understand that it can be a dangerous place for you. And particularly, I want to appeal to the parents. You have to monitor your children using these Wi-Fi and to check the phones to see where they are going. And parents who are afraid of using the internet, you have to understand that this is an opportunity for you to learn to use the internet, so that when your children or grandchildren are on the internet, you are able to understand what they're doing, and you can use your phone to be better able to know exactly what it is that they're doing. So we, from a police standpoint, have had numerous reports of persons being scammed. We have had persons and young ladies in particular who are susceptible to, persons online sending messages and photographs and giving them, telling them things that they know that they will want to take up, making them offers that they would probably want to take up, inviting them places and doing things that they know that these youngsters might like, which is not necessarily good for them, and they just might find themselves at, in danger or in trouble with the law in many instances. So parents, it is very important that you monitor what they do online and how they do it. Very, very important, because I don't want any report at the station where any young persons, or whether young or old, anybody at all, has fallen victim, whether to scamming or to fraud or anything. And those criminals out there, they're using the voices, because just a couple of days ago I was talking to colleague of mine whose son is overseas, and he got a call to say that his son wanted him to do a particular chore. But when he contacted his daughter, the daughter was saying that the son was right there and he did not speak to him. So there are different ways in which they're using the internet, so don't fall victim to any of these. So I just want to say to you all, use it wisely, protect it, make it into something that you can benefit from, and make it something that you can even do a business with and make money in a very clean and wise way. So enjoy the service, and just congratulations to the Universal Access Fund for continuing to provide this kind of service to the communities. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Superintendent of Police Morgan Simpson, sorry. She reminds you, use the service and use it wisely, okay? Okay? All right, can't say we never tell you, no? All right. But nonetheless, without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Sheldon Kidd, Councillor Caretaker of the Araka Bessa Division, to bring brief remarks. Please make him feel welcome.
Madam Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Andrew McCrae, other stakeholders present, citizens of Mace Knoll, good afternoon. On behalf of the citizens of Mace Knoll, I would like to express my deepest regret and empathy in relation to the death of Dr. Dawes. He has made tremendous contribution to the Universal Service Fund, through the Universal Service Fund, to various communities in Jamaica. He would have set the stage for all of this to happen before his death. And I am happy that persons who have taken over have continued to do the great work and implement this particular system in giving this service to the Mason Hall community. During the COVID dispensation, it was recognized that Mason Hall was one of the areas that was adversely affected by the academic performance of the students were adversely affected because of lack of Wi-Fi. So when MP Montague called me and asked me to name one particular community in the Orokabesa division, based on knowledge that I had previously, I did not hesitate but to name Mason Hall as the place that should get Wi-Fi in the Orokabesa division, and to a larger extent the Western St. Mary. So we are elated, we are happy that this could be given to the community, and I'm sure that persons who are in close proximity to where the internet is given are very grateful and appreciative of what was given to them. I beg of the community to safeguard whatever equipments are here so that you can continue to get benefit. The Universal Service Fund is not the only program or service that the government has implemented to enhance the lives of the people. We see where in Kidland, an adjoining community, where money was given to fix a particular main road in Kidland. Bundle Lane next door, approximately $2 million were left to do that particular main road. It has not yet been implemented. Hopefully it will be done soon. So we are grateful that this government has continued to work for its people. We want to beg the community to ensure that you take care of the equipments. As was said by Ms. Hamilton from the Mason Hall Primary School, the school is grateful. There are no more students who live in close proximity to where the service is. and they would have normally buy service. Now they can get it free of cost. So we are grateful. So on behalf of the Masonal community, we say thanks to the Universal